Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue. Like him, inside and outside. Blue his house with a blue little window and a blue Corvette. And everything is blue for him.
What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be in The Office, and this is going to be the first time I do a TV show review instead of a film like normal. For me, doing a review on a show is much more difficult than a movie, because a movie you at least got like 2 hours or more or less to like talk about it from start to finish. But in a TV show, you got multiple seasons, multiple episodes, and you got like a lot of review because some seasons are better than the others, and but I decided, why not give it a little shot, see what I can say. So my TV review is gonna be much more difficult to do than movie, but I'm gonna try my best just for you guys, since The Office is a very loved show. So not that long ago, I started watching The Office, probably a few months ago. A lot of people would talk to me about The Office, and I just rejected it. I'd be like, that doesn't sound very good, just filming people in an office. And then the jokes I would hear people say, like, that's what she said, or Kevin dropping the chili or something like that, they didn't sound funny, they just seemed stupid when I heard it. But then I started watching the series and I realized how funny it actually is. Not long ago, I was watching The Office. In fact, it's on my TV right now. I was thinking to myself, how can I make a video on The Office? And then I started realizing The Office did the unexpected. So I actually had to do a bit of research on The Office to make this video. And I learned that there's multiple Office shows before. Beforehand, there was like a lot of Office shows, and I think the most popular was the British version. But I realized it did something very unexpected. In the USA, we may not be the first ones to do it, but we are for sure the best ones to do it. Okay, maybe that sounded way too patriotic, but oh well. But anyways, I noticed that all these other shows, they weren't able to last a year, I think. Or maybe, I'm not sure, I don't know that much still about previous Office shows. But the fact that this version of The Office was able to last multiple years with people still loving the show deserves a round of applause, honestly. Like, what this show did, you gotta give them so much credit for it. Now, why do I think it worked for such a long time? It's a good question. I think it's because of how relatable it is. Okay, I couldn't get the word. The show is very relatable. They're people in jobs that you normally get. They just feel relatable. The first few seasons really went into that. Michael seemed like a funny dude trying to get people to like him, and Michael, of course, is the best thing with this show, hands down. The Jim and Pam relationship is probably the most relatable thing it did, because it felt genuine. It felt like this is what would happen in a real life office setting. Most importantly, that relationship was built up to the point where it felt good to the audience, because it feels something like that the audience would experience, like people like us, normal people. Because in TV, they have a lot of sexual intercourse, and I'm not saying that's unrealistic, it's just not as relatable as to what Jim and Pam have. Michael's journey throughout the years is probably the best one, in my opinion. How he goes from like this single late man in his late 30s or early 40s to he goes through a lot of relationships, and there's lots of times where you're like, this guy's stupid, how did he ever get the manager position? But the show also makes sure that it gives you a reason why he did. Like, there's episodes where he shows he was a pretty good salesman. There's like shows, and I like it. And the comedy in this show is amazing, but it's probably like the best comedy I've seen in any TV series, in my opinion. Michael's journey essentially is him trying to get a life. Like, yes, he's a manager, but he doesn't, like, when you first see him, he doesn't have a wife, he doesn't have kids, he doesn't even have a girlfriend. So like, it's amazing seeing these seasons go on eventually, where Michael finally gets a girl, the perfect one. There was many failed ones until he eventually finds one, and it ended sadly with him leaving to be with her, and I forgot what state was it, but yeah. Everyone in this series feels like people you would see in real life, not just TV shows. Like Stanley feels like a real guy. Phyllis feels like a real guy. Even Andy Bernardi. Kevin Malone in the first few seasons, he feels like someone you would meet in real life. But then, like in the very later seasons, I feel like they tried way too hard making him funny, and it got annoying. His later few seasons weren't as funny. It just felt like they were trying way too hard to make fat jokes and stupid jokes on him, and he got so stupid in this series throughout the season, so much to the point where I was like, how did he get this job again? I know he originally applied for the warehouse or something, but it's just weird. Other characters like Kelly, and all those other, they make the show better. They're funnier. Creed, Dwight Schrute, everyone. It just collects around, and they're not exactly like the typical friendship family like in Friends. They're more people that just have to tolerate each other and work together. And there's times where they do bond, but it's something that they were forced into. Is it my favorite TV series? I'm not a big TV series guy, so my opinion and my opinion is you should take it with a grain of salt, because I'm not that big on TV series. I'm someone that watches more film than anything. But in the series I have watched, I think The Office is one of my favorites. It's amazing how they were able to do it so very little. It's just they filmed through an office. And normally in every film review I do, I normally talk about the cinematography. And in this TV show, I'm not going to criticize that, because this show was basically like they were trying to make like a reality. And I love that, the directors and the writers that thought of that. I give them props for what they did, and the storylines were great. And people tend to criticize those last 2 seasons without Michael. I actually don't find a problem with them. I mean, sure, it's not as good as when Michael was there, because everyone thinks of Michael as the main character, but it was great to see like Jim and Pam's relationship growing, because in most TV series they just, once they date, it's just they like stop the series. But in this one, they showed them growing. They felt like a genuine relationship, and all these characters, they were trying to figure out what to do without Michael. And there are a few moments I hated from The Office. Like probably the biggest one I hated was Will Ferrell's inclusion. He was not a good. It just felt like the writers didn't know what to do with him. They were just like, oh, we got a big name actor. I don't know. It was confusing, but it is what it is. There's a lot of iconic, funny moments in this series, like Prison Ride. That's what she said, everything. And I really love that from this show. And this show, it's rewatchable. I've rewatched many episodes. In fact, I'm watching The Office right now. Yeah. I had to pause it just to make a video about The Office, just for you guys. Now, the big question is, which season do I recommend watch? My opinion, recommending it, I'd recommend you start from first season to go to the last one. I wouldn't just say watch one season and then that's it. I'm saying watch them all, and if you can't, well, I don't even know why I said that, but the best season is probably season 5-ish. Probably season 5. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it long and hard. That's what she said. Probably the worst one is probably season 9. Didn't really like season 9 that much, but I do respect it for what it is, the final season. What do I give this series? I gave it like a 9.5 out of 10. It's not a masterpiece, of course, but I do believe it's a series you watch, and I love how it did the unexpected. It was able to create something that most people considered a series that would only last 2 seasons, to then making it into a full-blown 9-season, I don't know how many years special kind of thing. And now it's the most iconic. Like, no one ever talks about the other Office shows. No one cares about them. This is the only Office show that's actually pretty good. Anyways, that's how The Office did the unexpected. As always, thank you guys for watching. Like, please subscribe, comment down below a movie or possibly show I should do. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Abba-da, abba-dee, abba-die, abba-dee.